Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Plain Not Jane. I am Plain Not Jane, and you, my friend, have tuned into this week's 7. This week's 7 is a video series highlighting lessons learned and observations made in my life over the last 7 days. And this week's 7 starts now. Number 1. There are 65 days until Christmas. Number 2. A $5 game was the most fun my family and I have had in a little while. See, it is hard to spend time with our teenagers. Usually spending time with them means that we're being tortured. We're listening to K-pop. If you don't know what K-pop is, Google it. It actually is pretty good stuff. But after about, an hour, anything will get a little irritating. So I'm always looking for non-K-pop ways to spend time with our 2 oldest girls. So I bought a game. I spent $5 on a game called, Headbands. It's the game where you stick the card to your head and you ask yes or no questions and you try to guess what's on your head. I bought it not really thinking that everybody would play and not really thinking that we would really enjoy it. But we did. We played for a couple hours and had the best non-screen time together at home that we've had in a long time. Number 3. Being tired is not indicative of being a failure. It just means you have put in some real effort. So look, if folk have been fraying your nerves all day long and you have managed to not snap on a single soul, being tired at the end of the day doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you exerted some real effort to stay calm. I had to remind myself of this a couple days ago. I'd had a rough and trying day. I was like, from the time my eyes popped open to the time I went to bed, I experienced frustration after frustration after frustration after frustration after frustration after frustration after frustration until the time I closed my eyes to go to bed that night. I experienced frustration after frustration. As soon as I thought I had dealt with one issue, something else came up, and it was difficult, to say the least. So by the time I did get to bed that night, I was dog tired and I felt defeated. I thought that because I was tired, that meant that I had done something wrong. That meant that I failed somehow. But then I was reminded that being tired means that I worked. I was tired because all day experiencing those frustrations, I didn't just go into autopilot and spaz. I actually put forth effort to stay calm. I worked hard to stay positive. I worked hard to keep my cool and to love. I worked hard to be better than I had been the day before. So just remember, being tired doesn't mean that you failed. It simply means that you put in some work. Number 4. You have a right to excuse yourself from other people's issues. If you are already running on fumes, having your personal space and your mental space invaded by negativity can be damaging and draining. So don't feel obligated to participate in somebody else's stuff. Number 5. I am enjoying this cool snap. In fact, I'm really hoping that it's not a snap and that this cool weather is here to stay. And I'm looking forward to it getting colder. But I was recently reminded that me, this short hair, my ears, and this cool air don't really get along that well. See, my ears stick out from my head, and they're sensitive to cold. Like, very sensitive. It could be 50 degrees and a nice little breeze come through and my ears will get so cold that they'll start hurting. So I'm pulling my wig back out. That's just how this gonna have to go. Number 6, know that weapons will form. A lot of times we hear people reference the scripture and the focus is on the shall not prosper part. And that's fine. But sometimes you have to deal with the fact that the weapon has formed and you're staring it right in the face. See, the thing is, once you start to truly, deeply pursue God, the enemy is going to try to knock you off track. The weapons can take the form of distractions, disagreements, the spirit of offense, illness, and a bunch of other stuff. And to be honest, it can be hard to remember that shall not prosper part when the weapon is staring you in the face if you haven't been feeding on the word. We have to stay in contact with God. We have to get in that word. We have to feed our spirits as often as we feed our bodies. So when the weapons do form, we'll be prepared and not caught off guard. And finally, number 7. I don't care how confident you are. I don't care how high your self-esteem is. I don't care how much of a I am the bomb person you think you are. Having to go back to the drawing board more than once can really bruise your ego. It can really make you start to doubt yourself. But revisions don't mean that your initial product, project, or idea was a bad idea. It just means you have room for improvement. So don't get all sad and count yourself as a failure, and don't throw the whole idea away. Just breathe and make the necessary changes. Alright, that's been this week's 7. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a good old thumbs up. And if you didn't, keep on going and don't come back. Also, make sure you click below to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this week's 7 cooking videos, DIY projects, and good old family foolery. So until next time, go where you're celebrated, not just tolerated. Be safe. Bye-bye.